Welcome, guys. It's Rose here. Today we are looking at the Mana token, guys. I have the Mana USD pair page pulled up on TradingView.com, guys. Link is in the description. If you guys aren't using TradingView for chart markups, you guys are definitely missing out. All right, we're gonna get right into it, guys. It's been a pretty bearish month. Everybody's wondering what's going on with Mana and what is this pair doing? What can we predict price to go? So, this is fairly new. The Mana hasn't been on the exchange for that long, being traded against the U.S. dollar. It just hit in April of 2021. So this year, guys, and as soon as it hit the market, that first month, I'm on the monthly time frame. The first month, you guys, we can see here is that it printed arguably a dragonfly doji. We're just gonna go and stick to the facts. Small upper body, small upper wick, small body, longer bottom wick. We get hammering down. Boom. First month we get a hammer down. That hammer down and creates what our first support. Now this is very important, guys, because this is a support that turns resistance that we push away from. So boom, we get that first support. It goes up. It makes it touches our first resistance, guys. Remember, for the bullish, this is actually what's happening. Bears come, they push it down here. Bulls ready to push it back, but bears were able to ultimately just push it down a little bit. We still closed near our top, you guys. Second month, we go into a bearish month. It was the start of a downtrend. You guys see the downtrend. We start making lower lows right here. You guys can see that. Okay. The interesting thing about this downtrend, you guys, obviously this is going to be a bullish. It's going to be a bearish, a bearish engulf right here into a downtrend. But the interesting thing is that the downtrend is ended, and we start making what a 2-month, a 2-month uptrend. So we go down here, we reach a period right here this month of June. We reach a new low, a low that we didn't see any months prior. We start our uptrend. We start our uptrend. We're on uptrend for 2 months. But the interesting thing, what started our uptrend, guys? What started our uptrend is this. Our uptrend, guys, is this bullish harami right here. You can see that this XY candle is fully engulfed by the month prior to it. It's confirmation. But we definitely do shoot up for 2 months. It's 2 months. We reach this. We reach back. Our old support is it's gonna be our 4th month now. 5th month, 6th month is where we push past that old support that we created, that created such a strong resistance that it took us 5 months for us to push through. All right, now since it's being new, obviously sweet spot dollar, is where it was, but ultimately this is what we saw, and big jump in, and I say 5 months, guys, because obviously when we shot down here for this and we were pushing back up, the bulls couldn't push back here. This was our first resistance for it. Okay, month 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we shoot up. All right, so we get to this month. Into the month of October. Interesting month of October. If we go to the weekly, guys, we spend 3. We actually spend 3 weeks. Those are what spinning tops. We go in. It's a really small doji, really small, but really. Let me get back over there. But if we look at that, where that mark came, that was actually during the first where we created our first support. And that's where initially we pushed. We ultimately end up pushing through. Okay. So, we get into this month, after October. Obviously, this is a big scare. It went in just 1 month, we saw, we shot price up. What was this? This is not all the way accurate, guys, but 580%, we bring it back down, retrace about 2092. So, that's, it's normal for the market to come in and see a doji after something like that, is what we call fear. Not really knowing where the market is going to go from here. But interesting thing happened here. We have this this new level of of support that was created. New level of support. Okay, hold on, guys. New level of support. That was created. Okay, and you guys can see that where this body of this doji was, is pretty much I just want to show you guys something, because this, what we're seeing on this, this is all we're doing, guys. We just push past I'm going to remove this one for just a second, because I just wanted you guys to see something really quick. All right, I'm on the weekly to see this. And this is where the doji body is right here. All we did You know, we pushed past here. All we did was go here. You know, we went back down, guys. We, you know, obviously went back down. The doji ended that downtrend that we saw. Then we started a new uptrend. Then, you know, something happened up here, and we were on our way back down, right back to this resistance. Obviously, we had a, you know, a touch in between, you know, and what I'm sure we'll see better on the daily. But that's all we did, guys. We're coming back down, and we're testing this support. All right. We had some support, you know, we had it where it was a resistance right here. We tested it, but ultimately that's what we're doing. We're testing this support area, guys. And this support area, just so that you guys can mark it up, you know, obviously, you know, it's going to be right here on, you know, 2.8. So we'll say about 2.9. All right, we'll say 2.9 because we're looking at an area. Okay, we're not looking at a line. We're looking at an area, something like this. Okay. All right. So I just wanted to show you guys that really quick. Let's go into what happened here. So obviously November, boom. Okay, we had a pretty strong November though. I mean, we shoot up, we spend a lot of time, we reach a new high. You know, it's a strong high. We'll go into it and see what really happened right here, and then we've been on a downtrend since. So we've been on a downtrend, you know, since the end of November, and all December. We've been on a downtrend. So I mean, this is what we call the sentiment. You know, the market right now is fear. All right, so we're going to go into the daily, guys. We're going to pay attention to two things. We're going to see what happened up here. Okay, hold on. We're going to see what happened up here. Okay, because we've been on a downtrend since then. And we're going to, you know, we're going to use, you know, what has happened in the past, that I'm going to point out something to you guys. And I want you guys to leave your comments in the description. You know, this is analysis that I look back on. And we're going to I'm going to show you guys, you know, where I got my price prediction from. Okay. All right, so let's get right into it. So this is the area that I told you guys that I'm focusing on right here, and that's what we're gonna go into. All right, let me highlight that. This area right here, because this is where we've been on a downtrend since. Okay, and if you guys look at this area right up here, you guys can see that. For one thing, you guys can see that we've been on a downtrend. You can look at, you guys can pull out the trend line. We can see we've been on a downtrend. Okay, obviously something interesting is happening here, which we'll point out in a bit. You know. But we're on a downtrend. Actually, I'm not going to confuse you guys. Let me just, we've been on a downtrend, obviously. Okay. And I mean, even if we wanted to do it, you know, by the holes, you know, tighter in there or whatever, you know, we're still on a downtrend. Regardless of how you look at it, you know, we're still on a downtrend. However you guys want to draw that trend line there, we're on a downtrend. Okay. And we've been on a downtrend since here. All right. So let's go up there and we'll see, like, well, what exactly happened up here. All right, well, we've been on an uptrend since this area. We see we have it marked here. And, you know, we reached up here. We get up here at the top and we get a long-legged, small body doji, okay? Price being rejected on both ends, okay? And when I look at that, I just got to remember is that we're looking at something that, you know, when it first came, you know, when this first hit the thing, like, it looked like this. You know, it wasn't anything else. So when you look at it, when you're, you know, if we were there and we would have saw something like this, okay, doji, boom, at the top, no left price action. I mean, obviously, I would have expected price to be reversing soon. You know, and ultimately what it did here is it printed this evening star. But just, you know, we go on a downtrend. Downtrend I mean, this is a strong reversal. This is a strong bearish reversal. I mean, no price action to the left right here. You know, new high at the top. You know, this is very, it's a pretty strong, and then we get a bearish, you know, multiple candlesticks to confirm, you know, a pattern, candlestick action, not a trend pattern, but so here we get an evening star. Boom, we go on a downtrend, then we get a morning star. You know, this morning star is, you know, obviously a bullish reversal, but I mean, obviously we have price action over here. It's not on a downtrend. Not on a strong downtrend. I mean, we barely hit like a small little pullback there, and price went back up again. Then we get another pattern here, guys. If you guys know this pattern right here, this three pattern, this bullish and two downside to the to downside. I want to say it's like a 3 out in or something like that. But anyway, ultimately, if I show you guys on the line chart, what we have here is a double top. All right, and so that's what we've been on. And why is this relevant? Because double top is a chart pattern that you know, we're familiar with. Okay, so ever since we broke from the neck right here, we've been on a downtrend. Okay, and that's pretty much what I'm going to pay attention to, and that has a lot to do with my analysis where I'm pulling my price prediction at. Could have just pulled up here and said, hey, you know, price if it hits right here, I'm gonna do this. If it hits right here, I'm gonna do that. But no, I'm showing you guys candlestick action. I'm showing you guys chart patterns. I'm showing you guys key levels. I'm just kind of taking you through the process of where where I'm at, and we'll kind of play it by ear throughout the week. Um, what price does. So we're on a downtrend from this double top. Now, what's interesting about this double top is that we've had a double top in the past, and that's where I'm going to take you guys to right now. All right. So this double top right here, is what I'm looking at, is was started on November 24th. Of November 24th, guys. All right, and so the double top that we're going to be looking at actually happened right here, guys. If you guys look on the thing, and I'm doing all this for free, guys. You guys need to go sign up, tradingview.com. All right, so this double top started on April of 27th of this year, okay? And you guys can see it's actually a double top. This is a very, very strong level of resistance. We had two go up there to try to meet it. I mean, technically that's two double tops, but we'll look at it right here, okay? And you can see that we broke the neck, okay? We broke the neck. And we were on a downtrend ever since then. Okay, one could even say that it was broke right here, arguably, but we're gonna say that it broke right here. Okay. Arguably, one could say that it broke. That this was the original break, and that was the retest, and then it spent some time going. I'm just gonna mark both areas just for now. We're going to use the top one. Okay. So interesting about this is a double top. Okay. Now, all right. So the double top, as soon as this double top hit, it broke down to the downside. It did go back up to try to retest this area. Okay. Before shooting back down, ultimately making a new lower low. So, I mean, what happened here is, we shot down, to here. Okay. Something happened here, maybe we'll find like a doji or something. Price shoots back up to test this area of resistance, right? But then it pushes down. It pushes down so far down that it ultimately creates a new low. Okay, so now we got a new low before shooting back up. Okay, now it's not like we shot back up. We took a long time to get back up for price to retrace back where it was, and we'll see here that price actually retraced. Price actually retraced about about 55% between there. So we'll say 50. 50 is when we shoot back down. Okay, and ultimately back on a downtrend before we go back and test that area that was our first support that we shot through. Okay, boom. So really quick, I know this is really, it sounds really tedious, and we're just gonna look at a couple numbers. Okay, so when I first told you guys about it breaking through the neck, all right, we're gonna look at something. Do this one. We'll do it from here. The top. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. We're doing it from the top, actually, not from the neck. I'm like, what's going on? Okay, so from the neck, we're down 72%. So from the time the height of the high of the double top, not where opening close, but the high, where where the bulls were able to push it at. We ultimately end up coming back down to down 72% down to a new low before we started that uptrend that you guys can see. So what the areas that I'm focusing on is right here, what type of candlestick action I can find right there. To ultimately use to see when price was able to reverse, what type of signs it did show, and we're gonna look at some of the we're gonna look at what happened right here. Okay, because this was an interesting area. Remember that we use this area. I know you guys are looking at this, but as I said, the line chart goes down. It goes to the close, but we have a low there. Okay. Ultimately, you can say that line would be right here. You could say that line would be like, will ultimately be like right here. If you're looking at things like over here where this stuff is and like that's ultimately how I probably would have drew it right there. Yeah, I probably would have drew another one right there. But for the most part, let's just stick to this. Okay, so I'm doing we're going in here, and so this is something that I noticed too. Oh my gosh, it's something I noticed when I go in here. So this area right here that it took down, it dropped, returned, and then dropped again, ultimately to create a new low. This is a very, very, very similar pattern that we're watching right now. On the thing, like I said, market has a memory. What it has done in the past, it usually does in the future. And the more something happens, you know, the more likely it is to do it will do that again in the future. And that's why we talk about, like, you know, the probability, you know, something that's going to probably happen because it happened in the past. All right, so we get two tests, you know, for up here we drop down. And we also get a test, but you know, it comes back up to test this. We go like, let me show you guys this on the thing. We go like this, go down, you know, it comes back up, boom, and it really comes back up, and then we ultimately, you know, come down to a new low. Now, what marks this new low is, you see, we here, if we zoom all the way in, you guys, this is a doji, okay? Now, it is a longer leg doji. It does have a bigger body, you know, than, you know, since like something right here. But it's a doji. I mean, it's a sign that a trend may be ending. I mean, if you look at, you know, all of these candlestick action that happened prior to that, you know, we get a lot of, you know, where something was consolidating right here, on and off, support, resistance. We see the longer wicks pushing through there, rejecting price. We see the dojis, we see the hammers, we see all of that, you know. So so this is that's strong for me, you know, and it's at a new low, no price action to the left. I mean, that's a good telltale sign right there too. But you know, so I want you guys, let's take it. That's not all I wanted you guys to look at though. Okay, so we're looking at this doji at the bottom, and that was the complete end before reverse. Okay, keep that in mind, guys. We're also looking at where price dropped down, what, 72%, but we also want to look at where price dropped at before it struggled. So we're going to go here and we're going to go there. It's going to be about, what, 39.99%. All right, so we'll just say 40% now. All right, so now we're going to go over there. Let me just briefly say what this, you know, what this pattern did, okay? All right, so we drop, you know, obviously we drop in, you know, pull back, drop, and pull back, drop, and pull back down till we get to here, okay? Something happens here, and, you know, obviously we get this area, you know, and price is able to come, you know, it drops, it reaches, you know, bears able to push it down, but they ultimately end up closing like for creating this longer wick, which we'll see that pattern as well, coming ultimately down again. Now we get two tests of this, and if you guys look over, you guys can see how relevant just that line is in it. Okay, just within that line is in itself. So we get two at 0.48. Okay, all right, so okay, and then we go down. Okay, so we ultimately go back up. We test it. We come back up and we test this support, and we shoot back down to test. I mean, we shoot up to test this resistance, and then we shoot back down. Two times right here we're testing this support. So two times test the support, right? We shoot back up to this resistance. Two times we test it, shoot back down. We're on a slow like downtrend, like consolidating, you know, lots of indecision counters before we reach that final doji. Okay, and then we shoot back up. All right, and it's a slow shoot up, but that's still what happens. So now that I pointed that out to you guys, I want to go back to the double top that we're in right now. All right, I'm gonna see how like all that stuff that we just talked about is relevant. All right, I'm on the daily, guys. Remember, I'm on the daily. All right, so let's go back in, find that double top. All right, so when we go down and we mark our levels, you know, we can see that, hey, this is actually could be an area that let's go down. All right, from the height of this, I want to go down 40% because that was the 40%, well, 39.99, whatever. That was the percentage that we saw that price went and it consolidated first before it dropped, ultimately trying to return again, a retest, you guys, a retest, and then it drops back down. Okay, so that's what we're gonna go into. We're gonna make the measure. So we go down. That first area that we spent before it started consolidating was at 40%. So that's where we're gonna go. 40%, and we're gonna see where that takes us, guys. We're at 39.8. Okay, we're at 49. We're at 39. We're at 39.7.8. This can't be perfect. Okay. Boom. 39.78. All right. Oops. 39.78. All right. We'll go down just a little bit. Wait. Okay, that didn't go. Okay, so we'll start right here, and then we'll go down. We'll say 40%, guys. All right. Boom. 40.3. All right. The interesting about this level, guys, is when we look at, you know, the previous double top, when we went on 40%, it was a level where it started to reach consolidation before it returned. You know, old support, consolidating the support area, turn resistance, you know, double tap into the resistance twice before shooting down to the downside. And that seems to be the exact pattern that we get right here. So around 40, and I mean, let's see. Let me push this up. I know you guys are like, wait. but technically, let's see. Okay, we'll push it back down here. All right. Now, as you guys can see, this is obviously not going to be perfect. What this is going to represent is an area. All right. Ultimately, what that's going to represent is an area. Okay. An area. All right. Interesting. All right. Then we get to another, let's go down another price, and we'll see where that low went down to, where we're talking about where it reached down to. Okay. Went down 50%. Okay. Another 10%. All right. Before we start shooting back up, we ultimately come down here again and test it. We're not able to. Okay. Looks very similar to an area. Okay. Now, the important thing about this area, obviously, that we can see here, you know, all right. This is an interesting range, guys. This is going to be the telltale range, you know. I expect for mana to push, eventually move out of this, you know. But a lot of stuff is going to happen before we shoot up, I believe. I believe that we're going to spend time shooting down. Okay, we're gonna spend a lot more time shooting down and consolidating before we before we ultimately shoot back up. Now, so this is the game of the Mana USD pair: is how far are the bears gonna push this Mana USD pair down before bulls ultimately take over, and which, you know, I'm telling you guys, this will happen, and push that price up. I mean, it's gonna be this is a pioneer token. You know, without going into the fundamentals of things, you know. This is just price retracing. A lot of things happened in October, and everybody's trying to figure out where mana is going. So, you know, where is mana going? All right. This is the area that we're focused on. All right. Now, a lot of stuff happening here. Before this drop, like obviously longer leg, hammering down into the support, prices continuing to be rejected. Short trends are followed by, indecision candles, you know, which we see here. And we do, even though we are able to push back off of this support right here, which is area, which I ultimately have 3.8. Some of you can, you know, even push it up 2.9, but a safe place for it will be 2.97. You know, it's pushing away from, and we can see that price has been rejected here before and pushed away from. You know, price has pushed away from before, pushed away from. So now we have, you know, two taps. Here goes our two taps, guys. You know, and before the pattern, you know, we pushed away from. Before we ultimately, so we'll go back down. Actually, just give me 1 second before we go back over here. And I know this is really, really tedious, guys, but we're going to get back to why this is relevant, okay? All right. See, we did two tops before we tested that ultimate support, before we printed what? We printed this doji. We did go down just a little bit further, you know, but ultimately that was the low that we reached before we started to do an uptrend. Now, why am I watching this area? Because I do feel like just within everything, like, you know, I'm everyone else, I have to continue to follow, set my alerts to see what's gonna happen with this. But this is my price prediction. Okay. It doesn't look like it, but we're consolidating, you know. We're in a very short consolidation. We're in a triangle. So let me just delete some of this stuff off really quick, to show you guys what I'm talking about. Ultimately, you know, let's just delete some of this stuff, okay, so I can show you guys. I showed you guys that we were in a triangle before, but we're breaking out of that triangle. All right, things are happening. We've already pretty much broke out the triangle, okay, and now one could say, okay, we're in a different triangle. You know, we were in that triangle, now we're in this triangle. Okay, hold on. Now we're ultimately in this triangle. You know, which the highs are longer, and you guys can see that you know, we could spend a lot more time consolidating within this range. You know, within this range. Right, hold on. Right here, before price predicts, you know what, you know, I say ultimately we're in between these two, you know, 3.6 and 2.9, you know. Now, because of the things that have happened, which we're going to go into, you know, breaking a, you know, making a higher high, and a higher low, um, you know, we broke out of that previous triangle that we were in. So when I show you guys like, oh, that doesn't look like a good triangle. Yeah, it's not, because we already broke through the triangle that we were recently in. And when you go there, we'll do it on the 4 hour. All right. You guys can see that when we were doing it from the highs, we were doing it from here. You know, we were going, you know, hold on, guys. I'm not using my mouse. We're doing it from here. You know, obviously it's a lot easier to do it like that when you're breaking it, you know. And we respected this trend line. You know, we respected it. We broke out of it. Boom. It's kind of interesting. What happened was this was an interesting area. That was an interesting area. Why is it an interesting area? Because we have a trend line, guys. Let me zoom in on here. We got a trend line. We have a key level area, indecision candles. Okay, and a lot of stuff going on right there. Okay, so then we go into a different triangle. I'm just showing you guys what has happened over the past week, you know. So I'm gonna show you guys why I'm looking at the certain triangle that we're in right now. And even though, see, I'm coming from here, right? I'm doing my triangle like this. Okay, now we broke out of the triangle. You guys can see now we're back in a little consolidating. All right, now I'm not worried about this small stuff. Like obviously if I'm trading on a day, you know, obviously I'm worried about this stuff. But everything that's happening right here, guys, is happening on a bigger scale. And that's what we're looking at. We're under the 200 EMA on the 4 hours. So I know that today's gonna be bearish for the most part. When I go to the daily, you know, I can see that things change. Hold on just one second. Longer time frames, things change. Okay, so I'm expecting for, you know, price is gonna go down, but ultimately we're still over it. As we go into the longer time frames, guys, we're still over the 200 EMA. Okay, which is why I do believe that we're gonna experience like a bearish downtrend. You know, bears are gonna push this price down, and we're ultimately, but it's just like to where. So here we have another tap into this, deep into this, you know, and we see this. So guys, what's going on? And you know, we can do this type of, you know, analysis. I can show you guys why I'm, you know, predicting the price that I'm predicting. But there's a lot of levels in between here. Like I said, guys, we could go in, we can create all different types of levels, you know, right there. We can get them right there. Like if you day trading, you can catch all these pips. You can catch a penny pip. You can catch them all, you know, like Pokemon. But you know, the main ones that I'm more concerned with is these areas that I'm pointing out to you guys right here. Okay, now price is on a down right now. I do expect for price to reach this to come down and test this level right here. 2.9. Okay, it's gonna come down and it's gonna test this. How long is it? How long until it gets to 2.9? Okay, it could spend some time, you know, but it will come down to test this. You guys can see how big some of these candles are. So I mean, you guys can see what happened. I mean, shoot down from that. It can happen. You know, we can come down today. We can come down tomorrow. I think it happened over the next 3 days. Okay. We'll come down and we'll test this. All right. Now, obviously, I'm going to be paying attention to these candles right here because these are indecision candles. Let me know that this trend right now that we were previously on could be exhausting. I mean, we already got previous signs, you know, that this trend is exhausting. Then we get a longer waist bottom here. We get another, you know, that could be a spinning top if you go like that. But that's a doji, you know, at the end of the day. It's a bigger body doji, you know, spinning top. But I'm waiting for price. This week, guys, I'm watching price every day. I'm waiting for price to come down and test this area. Okay. Now, I'm not gonna buy until it hits the whole area. All right. Price is gonna go up. Okay. Now, you guys can trade in between this range or whatever, but if we're talking about long term, okay, we gotta wait for it to go through here. We have to wait for price to go through here, push down into there. Okay, and down to 2.9, and then go up to here, and you have to wait for it to push past 3.69. Okay, if price can push past 3.69, so let me write that on here. All right, this is the range that we're looking at. Like I said, we're not day trading here, so if you guys want to, you know, we're waiting for price to get down to 2.9. All right, and 2.9, and then another price we're waiting for price to get past is going to be you know, it's gonna be this range right here, 3.7. 3.7. I know you guys said, oh, well, you have that drawing right there. I'm going to move it. It could be a bigger range only because we have some interesting things going on right here with things opening and closing. Double, okay. So that was going to be 3.7. All right, 3.7. All right. So if price pushes past this area 3.7, I'm buying. Is price is on its way, is going up. It pushes past 2.9, it's gonna go down. But like I said, guys, I'm expecting for price to go down right now. Okay, so you know, where is it? How far down are we expecting for price to go? And that's something that we have to pay attention to. Well, I'm paying attention to at these key levels. You know, so my next level, if it goes past 3.9, guys, obviously I said like I'm not gonna be like trying to day trade it or whatever. But I would say that I'm gonna partially what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my what happened in a double top. Obviously I know this is a low. You know, this is I'm expecting for obviously like when price gets to this area, guys, I'm expecting for it to reverse before it gets here. But you know, it can go down to 2.2. You know, who's to say it won't, you know? It's been there before, you know. But after that level, I'm looking at this one. These are very minor price targets for it too, guys. Like, you know, I'm marking this up on the daily. Right, should be marked up on the monthly. But you know, these are small. Sorry to make those lines straight, guys. Here's small price lines. So, oops. So those are my price targets, okay? So I'm expecting for once price breaks to 2.9, I'm expecting to come down, test 2.6, coming down, test 2.4, and coming down, test 2.2. All right, and you know, obviously, like I said, there's a lot of things that happen in between, you guys. If you guys want, you can obviously catch this stuff. But I mean, we're talking about long term. Like Mana is gonna be a long term. It's the pioneer of its kind of tokens, and it's gonna be here long term. We're just experiencing a downtrend from this double top. But okay, so let me go back and show you guys one more thing about this double top that we had. Okay, so you guys know that we got down to this low, which was 72%, right? 70, you know, I think it's like 72. Actually, I'm gonna do it again because I don't think that one was like really on point. Make sure I get it right. All right, one at the top here with this other one. I could have zoomed in and did that. But and then we got all the way down to here. All right, so 76%. Okay, oopsie, 76%. Okay, so let's look at where 76% is over here, and all right, so 76%. We'll go right there. We'll go from the top. So where's 76%? 76% is going to be down here. Interesting, right? 76% is actually going to be right in our old resistance area that turned support right before we took off into this trend. So I mean, I know it was tedious, guys, but that's pretty much why I showed you guys this, because like the market does have memory, and it's just really interesting to look at this. So obviously we've already gotten down to this, so there's a possibility that price can go all the way down to right here, which is going to be about 1.6. Okay, about 1.6. We'll say 1.7. We'll say price goes down to about $1.70. Okay, so is it highly probable? It's not highly probable, you know. So I mean, only experience like that double top really like once. There's been smaller ones, but this has been like the one that's most close to this one. But that's pretty much what I'm standing behind, you know. So talk about price is gonna go down. How far it will go down? It could go all the way down as 1.7. Will it go down that far? I don't know. It's not that likely, but it is very it is like the probability that it's gonna hit 2.8. You know, even 2.6 is very, very, very possible. My I is right here on this 2.9 area that I have here. Okay, it be telltale. Like I said, like I'm not psychic, but I do use technical analysis to try to figure out where price is gonna go based off where it has gone in the past and how it has reacted at certain levels, and what the candlesticks are telling me. And I know that multiple, each of these areas is showing, signs of that this trend is going to end. I mean, but it could end at here. We could start our trend side up. It could end at this key level before we start trend side up, and this key level before our trend side up. But I will be looking at 2.98. I can say that 2.68 will be a place I'm expecting for a price to reverse. It could possibly go down to 2.2 before it reverses. But like I said, I don't. It's not likely to me. It's definitely not likely to go down to 2.2, guys, but it has happened. And I will be paying attention to everything that's going on in here to let me know if it really will decide to go back down there. Like I said, we're still above 200 EMA, but you guys can see that something interesting is happening here. Like 200 EMA is near, this. We're not near here. Price could very well return to this 200 EMA before it bounces off into the next direction. All right. So guys, that is just like my mana analysis for right now. Like, it's a waiting game, and we're just waiting for price to reach those key levels that we have marked up. And I'm paying attention to the candlesticks, chart patterns, like I showed you guys, and we'll just go from there. We'll continue to make these videos on mana. This is a token that I'm watching. I suggest that you guys watch. There's a lot of good things going on in Decentraland that has brought this token to the exchange so quickly. So yeah, you guys, hit the subscribe button, drop a comment, let me guys know how you guys feel about my technical analysis. Am I wrong? Am I right? Do you guys agree? Do you guys disagree? Don't just say if you agree or disagree. Let me know why. Leave me some analysis, time. I need candlestick action, chart patterns, the exact times and dates on the chart. Let me review them as well. Um, Links in the description, guys. TradingView, like I said, sign up. It's free. That's where I did my markups for you guys. Until next time.